going to show you how to complete the bent paper illusion. Here's a small square sample that I completed that I wanted to show you. I used metallic Sharpie ink and regular Sharpie to complete it. For this illusion, you're going to need a ruler. It's okay if you don't have one. Honestly, any straight edge will work. I've been using this piece of paper that I bent a couple times. By bending the edge, it reinforces it, makes it stronger. Envelopes work great. I'm using pens because I don't have any pencils at the house. But I do have these different colored pens that I can use, so I'll be using some of these. I'm actually going to start with this really light orange pen. Because it's such a light color, I can easily draw right on top of it with a darker color. To start this illusion, what you're going to want to do is start with just a couple guidelines, lines that show where the paper is going to initially bend. And you can have just a couple of them. I recommend that they go off the edges of the paper, such as going off the top edge and the side edge. That creates interest. You could make them thin on one side, thicker on another to add some feeling of perspective. You can have as many sections as you want. Here I've created 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to throw a fifth just for fun. All right, so for the bent paper illusion, you're going to want to start by kind of working left to right. I'm going to start in this left section. I am just going to jump right to a dark line, and I'm going to go ahead and use this thin pen. Now the trick here with the bent paper illusion is to work with parallel lines. Parallel lines, you're working with lines that always run the same direction. For example, by drawing on each side of my ruler, I've created 2 parallel lines. They'll never run into each other. Unparalleled lines will eventually converge and intersect. So we want parallel lines, and we want to avoid unparalleled lines. All right, now that we're ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and just choose the direction of my first set of parallel lines. I'm going to go ahead and start up here on the top. Now, if I want to create the illusion of distance, then I'll want to play with the idea of foreshortening, which is the idea that as things get closer to you, they get bigger, and as things get farther away, they get smaller. So what I might do now is take these initial lines that I've drawn and just make them a little bit bigger here. Let them be closer to, as they're closer to me, they can be bigger, but as I get farther away, they're going to get closer and closer. So one thing I'm going to do now is I've created my first section of lines. Those are going to now need to bend a new direction in the next section, so that's here. And I don't need to take every line. I could take just a couple. So I'm going to choose the direction of my new line. All right, I'm on to my next section. I'm just going to keep this up where now I can just go a new direction of my choosing. All right, we're almost done. Let's keep going. Let's drastically change the direction this time. All right, you guys, so I've had some fun with my illusion. Notice I didn't keep everything over here, that some of these are different. I'm going to go ahead and add in some lines that don't continue in other sections that are broken lines, like right here. Just for fun, to break up the monotony of the pattern. Okay, now that I have this part done, the next thing I want to do is think about designing this. Some fun things that we could do that are really easy would simply be just to color in every other area, like a checkerboard.
Miglior cuccagna per un barbiere, vita più nobile non si dà. La 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 la.
What else would be fun to do would be to work with gradients. You can make a gradient by smudging or blending or shading with a pencil, but you can also make gradients by working with pens. By varying how close a line is next to another line, you can allow white paper to shine through. The closer I concentrate these lines and the darker I draw those lines, the less paper shines through and the darker an area looks, whereas the thinner I keep a line and the more I space it out, the lighter an area will look. I can use my ruler to quickly shade an area in this way.
Presto, bottega, che l'alba già presto. La 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 la.